the finale of Ringer Wise Guys right here on the FanDuel TV set at Radio Row. We got you set every which way for the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The boys are here, at least three of us are here. We have Raheem Palmer. We have Cousin Sal. We will eventually be joined by Joe Haas from an undisclosed location.
Where is he?
We're going to have to find out. But Sal, we have done it. It is Radio Row. We've had a fantastic week out in Las Vegas. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling great. First of all, is this the season finale or the series finale?
No,
they're not
scared.
canceling us yet.
Okay,
renewed.
Right.
We're going to be renewed.
Depends how this goes. I'm loving it. I feel I caught myself on the monitor. I look very tired and very fat, and both of those things are true. But we had a great week. I'm trying to think. You want highlights? Is that what we're doing now?
Well, I was going to say, from a highlight standpoint, was it the monstrous 10-course meal that we had on Tuesday at Carbone, where we get our dinner crashed by the legend Ryan Russillo, or the epic run that myself, you, and the legend David Chang had on the Cosmopolitan Craps tables? Take your pick.
A hard 12 at 31-1, and Chang is still celebrating, still doing laps.
We basically, Raheem, did a lap around the Cosmopolitan, and you understand what a nut job I can be on the Craps tables, to have Sal going nuts and to have Chang. Chang plays don't pass. I actually got him to play the pass line.
Wow. That's a natural-born hater move to play the don't pass.
It really is bad. The people at the other side of the table are actually trying to hurt you with the dice as they're rolling it.
For you, Raheem, this is your first ever Vegas Super Bowl experience. Well, because it is the first time Las Vegas has ever hosted the Super Bowl. But first Super Bowl experience for you, Radio Row, all the feels. How you feeling, big boy?
It's been great. I mean, I had a great week. I partied a lot. Didn't drink too much.
That a boy.
I stayed on my best behavior, but I had a great time. I mean, we had some great content. We gave you guys some great picks. Hopefully they cash this week, and it'll be even a greater week.
And I have to give Sal credit. Your wide receiver skills for Michael Penix exceeded my expectations. And you did say to me, and for everybody, Cousin Sal's winning weekend, does a little bit with Michael Penix as far as throwing the foam football. You go and make the catch, and you look at me and you go, JJ, you didn't think I was going to catch it, did you?
You really didn't.
No
you didn't
shot.
think I'd get under it.
The odds on that, by the way, will Sal catch the foam ball from Michael Penix? That would have given you plus 250.
It's a foam ball. It was a real ball. Wasn't it a real? It was a real ball.
No, it was a foam.
It was foam? All right, I caught it. Let me just say this about Penix. I know he took a lot of crap for his game against Michigan, but I feel like he's got some grit. I mean, I had to circle around to get under there. If his wide receivers can adjust like I did in the pros, he's going to be top-notch.
Well, I think next year, though, when we do this down in New Orleans, Raheem, you guard Cousin Sal when we get a quarterback of choice and we have a little competition on this.
I might pull a hamstring.
I was going to say, if I'm guarding you, you got no chance.
Okay.
You're not catching the ball.
Right.
I'm going to be like Sauce Gardner on your rear end.
This is not a marathon.
I'm going to be like Deion Sanders because I'm picking off anything.
Okay.
Let's
you don't even want to knock it down. You want to pick it off.
I'm pick 6.
So we're here at the Super Bowl. It's the Chiefs. It's the Niners. I can't wait to watch this game. I know some people are like, oh, I'm sick of the matchup, Sal. We saw this 4 years ago down in Miami. I think all in all, the idea of Mahomes going for number 3, the idea of the Niners trying to get over the hump, I think we're going to have a hell of a game on Sunday.
It's great. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of big mouths around here, probably us included, but anyone who's like, absolutely the Niners are going to win, or absolutely the Chiefs are going to win, they're out of their mind. If these teams play 10 times, it'd be 6-4 one way or the other, or 5-5.
Do you think this is an evenly matched Super Bowl, Raheem, the way it was last year maybe with the Chiefs and the Eagles?
It's definitely an evenly matched Super Bowl. And it's telling you that from the line. The San Francisco 49ers, they opened as 2.5-point favorites. This got bet down to about a pick-em, and it's right back up to about 2.5. So you're seeing equal money on both sides, so it's definitely going to be a great game.
And we'll have our wisest wagers where at least 2 of us, I believe, are going to be heads up when it comes to the Niners and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, 3/4 of the Wise Guy crew here in Las Vegas. I know you're probably wondering, where's Joe Haas? Why isn't Joe Haas on this wonderful set that FanDuel TV has provided us here at Radio Row? Haas, what's going on, buddy?
Fellas, I can't believe you left this immense, beautiful, bountiful spread. For what? To be on television? We're in Vegas. Do you see the size of this buffet? Look, I made them give me a giant plate. Of course, I'm sad, boys, that this is our last Wise Guys of the season. But I think I'm just going to comfort eat my way out of the sadness. No shortage of luscious items to keep the tears away. Speaking of luscious, look at these matchups. So many delightful aspects to today's game. Matchups like what I'll be assembling on this plate, Brock Purdy against an elite passing defense, the Chiefs' run defense against Kyle Shanahan. Kyle with some extra time. Will the 49ers defense show up for the first time in these playoffs? All great stuff to look forward to. Fellas, I can't wait to get into it with you. I wish you were here eating with me, but we'll try and make do.
House, how are you not here? You're eating? You're missing
This
the
is
show?
bad.
It's real bad.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got an eating disorder, and now he gets a hall pass for. We're gonna have to talk to Simmons.
This is totally unacceptable.
Fireable offense.
This is grounds for suspension
Yes.
at minimum. But
Yeah.
in all seriousness, House is going to be
We
joining
are wise
us.
guys, so we might need to just take them out back.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
right.
Okay.
We got some baseball bats back there. We know how to handle
You
it.
dig the ditch. I know a place.
And I know a guy. We got a lot more coming up in this Super Bowl edition of Ringer Wise Guys. The boys will have their final wisest wagers for the 2023 NFL season. We will have some guest picks. Ben Solak, Steven Ruiz, who is Brock Purdy's biggest fan, he is going to join us. We'll have our family meal. So we have you covered every which way. Final show of 2023. I can't believe I'm doing this for the final time this year. Boys, let's wisen up. All right, gang. Super Bowl. It's time to make a pick. Sal, our postseason records have been so bad, it's basically the equivalent of Rich Kotite leading the Jets or Adam Gase leading the Jets.
Yeah.
Take your pick. That's how bad it's been. I'm going to give you the T-Bucks.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the honors. The final wisest wager for Chiefs-Niners.
Yes.
What do we got?
Call me poor Kotite. I'm not Rich Kotite. I got nothing left. You're lucky you have me around. I'm 1-11, right? What would you do? Right? You have at least 3 wins here.
I do.
In the playoffs.
Barely.
Okay. Anyway, yes, you could take it for what it's worth. I would go play the slots as I give my pick. It doesn't matter. Ride the stratosphere, whatever. This is tough. Like I said, 10 games. I think it's 5-5 or 6-4. But here's how I analyzed it. I said, what is different in the last month? I think the Chiefs have gotten together. They've gelled as a team. This is not the best Chiefs team we've seen. This might be, though, the best defense we've seen out of the Chiefs. We can't overstate what they've done in the fourth quarter against your guy Tua, against Josh Allen, against Lamar Jackson, the MVP. They allowed 3 points in the fourth quarter. Combined, that's startling. Look what the Niners did in the last month. They were dying to give that game away to the Lions and the Packers, especially in the first half. Long, sustained drives. I think that's going to keep up against them. I think Brock Purdy's going to have butterflies, Mr. Irrelevant. You know, Mahomes is going to be cool as a cucumber no matter what. So I think the start is going to be, and I know Raheem's got something to say about how it's going to start. I like Kansas City plus the 2.5 points. It's a long offseason, JJ. Raheem, we're going to feel like dopes if we fail this final exam. I'm taking the points.
Okay, here's my caveat to you, though. Yeah. If you're taking the points, why not take them at plus money to win the game? You're telling me Kansas City covers it, too. You see a 1 or a 2 point game, or you just want that insurance?
I want a little insurance. We've seen enough 2-point conversions go south or weird things happen, missed extra points here and there. I want the 2.5.
All right, so you're grabbing 2.5 with Kansas City. Raheem, for your final wisest wager of wise guys this year, what do we got?
Well, you guys know that I am on the Kansas City Chiefs, 10-1 to win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to take the final exam. I'm just going to do something else. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Kansas City Chiefs first half team total over 10.5. Let's go back to week 14. San Francisco 49ers, they played the Seattle Seahawks. Since then, you've had this defense really, really struggle. They've played 6 games since then. 4 teams have scored 10 or more points in the first half against the San Francisco 49ers. And you had 3 of those games where the opposing teams actually have gone over their point total. The Arizona Cardinals, 13 points. The Ravens, 16 points. The Lions, 24 points. I mean, you even had the Commanders put up 10 points. So you look at this Kansas City Chiefs team, and what's the trend that we saw with this Kansas City Chiefs team all year long? They can score in the first half, but they can't score in the second half. And they've had a propensity to start playoff games fast. You go back, 8 straight games where they've scored on their first possession. 8 straight games. And they did it 3 straight games in this postseason. So that's a record. So the way I see it is the Chiefs going to start off fast against this 49ers defense, which has been struggling in the first half, and they go over the first half total, 10.5.
All right. We're going heads up, Sal, in our final wisest wager of the year. Everyone we talked to this week seems to love Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. We love the Chiefs. We love the Chiefs. We love the Chiefs. Hey, listen, Raheem, I got that 10-1 ticket. We placed it in Los Angeles at the start of Wild Card Weekend. But guess what? I like San Francisco laying 2.5 in this game for a lot of different reasons. I like the idea that San Francisco's in a revenge spot. They lost the Super Bowl to Kansas City a few years ago. I like the idea that San Francisco can run it on this Kansas City defense with McCaffrey, with Deebo Samuel, which we will get to later on in this show. And I look at that matchup they had against Baltimore. Kansas City got shut out in the second half. If we're talking about Zay Flowers holding on to a football at the 1-yard line or Lamar Jackson not throwing the ball in a triple coverage, I don't know if we're talking about the Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. I think it's the Niners' time. I think it's Brock Purdy's time. That well-oiled machine of an offense, I think, is going to put up a monstrous day. I'm taking San Francisco minus the 2.5, Sal. So either Kotite or Gaze, somebody's going to win this final game of the year.
You know, I didn't even think about directing my pick directly to camera. I mean, that is so much more powerful than what I did looking at you two schnooks talking it through.
Hey, what can I say? It is years of plethora of TV
final
experience.
Score. Give me a final score.
Well, my big money Super Bowl box, which we'll get to later on in the show, is 5-5. So can we get 35-25 and get real funky and wacky?
Wow.
Way
so you
over.
got, hold up, you have the San Francisco 49ers beating this Kansas City Chiefs team and that defense by 10.
That's right.
Wow.
What do you got? What's the final for you?
We're going to wait until we
All right, okay.
That's what you call a tease. Now, by the way, Joe House is going to have a pick that's maybe going to break the tie between Sal and myself. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but House, take it away.
Fellas, I appreciate you letting me go last. I had extra time to go build up this beautiful premium plate, and that's how you start off the first round of the buffet. And this is how we're going to start off with my wisest wager, and we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, my friends, minus 2.5. That's right, we're playing it as an alt spread. The true favorite, you can get plus odds, plus 128 on the FanDuel Sportsbook, and that matches up with this deluxe spread I have right here in front of me. Now look, we've been talking about it for a couple weeks. I've been trying to find the 49ers' best wins. Congratulations, you beat up on the Cowboys and the Eagles. I guess that's impressive. Kansas City's defense has been resplendent all season. 5th and 3rd down defense, 8th in red zone defense, 6th in special teams DVOA. Conversely, San Francisco, 27th in 3rd down defense, 14th in red zone defense, 25th in special teams, and look at what the San Francisco defense has done in these playoffs. If you took their playoff performance and measured it out on an EPA per play basis and threw it into the regular season, the worst performance, 32 out of 32 teams. Look, the Super Bowl matchup is usually two teams coming in peaking, a dominant team against maybe a surprise dog. San Francisco is the favorite, walking backwards into this title game over their two worst performances of the entire season. What's the last team to back into a Super Bowl like this and be favored? Now, I know it goes to your models, it goes to the course over the course of the season, the way the math looked, but we're putting the better head coach, the better quarterback, the defensive coordinator as a dog. The ratings at the end of the season, all the models would have had this game at San Francisco at -5 or -6 on a neutral schedule. The market was in that same area. But look, it's been all Kansas City money over these past 2 weeks, and that's because everybody watched Kansas City go into hostile environments and play excellent football against genuinely competitive AFC teams. Now, the hard thing is, do we just throw out the regular season and say that Kansas City's good now, that this version of their offense that we've seen since week 17 is the real offense? And do we say, oh, the Niners have just hit a little bit of a dry spell? I'm not buying it. I'm on these Chiefs. I can't forget what I've seen out of this 49ers defense the past 2 weeks at home against Detroit and against Green Bay. Mahomes as an underdog, incredible record. I think that he's going to feast with this renewed, refreshed Chiefs offense against the Niners zone defense. And give Spags and Andy Reid extra time. Kansas City is 4-0 at Allegiant Stadium. I think they're going to feel right at home, and I think they are poised to win back-to-back Super Bowls for the first time since the New England Patriots in 2003, 2004. All right, fellas, there we go. That's my wisest wager. I got to get back to the buffet. In the meantime, back to you.
Welcome back. Ringer Wise Guys here on the FanDuel TV set. Let's welcome in Ben Solak, who has been a part of our bonus time shows. He's been kicking butt on Radio Row all week. Yeah. Mr. Solak, welcome to the Wise Guys.
Thank you. This is my last content for the week, and I couldn't end it with anything else but Ringer Wise Guys.
You are
FanDuel
ending
TV.
it with an absolute bang.
Yes, sir.
This is the cherry on top. If there's been a highlight for you, Radio Row, Super Bowl week, or just the week in general, what has it been?
Yeah, I think the availability with the players has been really, really good this year. The Chiefs' availability is set at like 8 a.m., so not a lot of people go because it's super early, so you actually get like really good access with guys. And the Chiefs, it feels like when a team makes it to the Super Bowl for the first time, they're kind of tight. Chiefs have been here before, so they're talking about everything. They're talking game plan, preparation. We've been around. So I think the Chiefs have been really open, fun to talk to. Got a lot of good nuggets. Hopefully somebody makes a play on Sunday that I've got a little nugget from and get it.
Can I give a highlight? Can I offer you what might be your highlight
Tell
of the
me.
week? We're at dinner, right? The other night, you leave to join Peter King. What a baller move!
Wow!
My
Wow,
goodness!
Peter. Wow, we got stiff for Peter.
Yeah,
Nice
unfortunately,
job.
I was really hoping the dinners wouldn't get scheduled on the same day, but they did, and so I had to do it.
I don't
And it was
hate
like-
it.
Yep.
It's the
Listen,
right
I
move.
like Peter King. I would have made the same decision.
Peter's a good time. Yeah, we have a lot
Talk
of
to
fun.
me or Peter? I'd rather talk to Peter. Okay, Ben. Everybody here I talk to loves the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Andy Reid. It's the pedigree that they provide. You now have an opportunity to join the Wise Guys. We had the Chiefs in this game against Philadelphia. Were you on Kansas City or Philly last year?
I was on Kansas City pretty heavily, and throughout the week I got more and more confident in Kansas City. This week I came in believing in the Chiefs, and I've gotten less and less confident.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
As someone that is on San Francisco, that makes me feel better.
I still, at this time, I'm Chiefs plus 2.5. If you made me put a new bet down, I would still be Chiefs plus 2.5. But the more and more work I've done on it throughout the week, the more and more we've talked to both teams, the more I think I really thought the Chiefs could defensively present a lot of problems to the Niners, and now I think the Chiefs can defensively present a lot of problems to the Niners, and that it won't matter as much as I thought, right? Because George Kittle's going to break a tackle and it's a 50-yard gain. Deebo Samuel's going to break a tackle. So much of this is just going to come down to tackling in space. It's going to come down to Jimmys and Joes, right? And those matchups that you get on a what should be a ho-hum play, 1st and 10 from the 25, suddenly becomes a score. And so I still like the Chiefs. I don't think they match up better. They've been playing better recently, but I think I was ignoring too much the big play potential of San Francisco, and 2 or 3 plays pop off, and that could be ball game.
I hate this, JJ, because I watched gladly like a 6-minute video. You highlighted the defense. Oh, the defense is going to watch this. It's beautiful. It's like they're playing on a string.
Yep.
And now you're seeing that string can get cut.
So help me to understand. You're still on the Chiefs, but you've grown more and more confident in San Francisco.
I came in really confident with the Chiefs, and now I still believe in the Chiefs, but I've had doubts sneak into my mind.
What would it take for you to get you off of the Chiefs and onto San Francisco?
If you told me for the number of explosive pass plays the Niners are going to hit, right, then I would feel better. The Chiefs are the top defense in the league in stopping explosive pass play. No defense in the league prevents more 20-plus yard receptions than the Chiefs do. Chiefs are the only defense in the league that gives up negative yards after the catch below expectation when they blitz. This team tackles. They get you down in space. They do not lose to yards after the catch. What do the Niners do well? Yards after the catch, right? So if you could get me the information, Rob, if you could go forward crystal ball and tell me, hey, Brandon Ayuk, 5 for 112. Hey, George Kittle, 7 for 140. Then I'd be like, all right, maybe the Niners actually win this
Can we
thing.
get that information, or that's just a hypothetical?
Yeah, we want it.
Yeah, let's. Where can we go?
Come on, man.
I would love if we could get the information. I would be concerned about the league's ethics here in Las Vegas if that information was available.
Okay, I want to ask you this when it comes to the total. We talked about it, Raheem and I. You joined us on East Coast Bias.
Yeah.
I think the game script over favors the Niners.
Yeah.
If we get that sort of correlation, under favors the Chiefs. Do you kind of look at it that way?
Absolutely agree. Yeah, no. That game script wise, if this is an under game, it's a Chiefs game. If it's an over, it's a Niners game for sure. We know the Chiefs, right? A second half Chiefs under. Yeah. If the Chiefs walk into halftime with a lead, they intend to shorten this game, sit on the ball, and have no more points to be scored, right? We also know for these 49ers, we've seen them now have multiple comebacks in the postseason. We've seen the way that this passing game can rip off big gains. If they're in a negative game script, the Niners are a lot more capable of putting big points on the board quickly than the Chiefs. The Chiefs do not have that in their bag. Chiefs are down 14 in this game. It's going to take a perfect second half for them to claw their way back in. And so, absolutely, Chiefs are an under, Niners are an over.
Fellas, we got player prop matchups we're going to get to. FanDuel has the opportunity on their website to go and look at Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy. Maybe it's George Kittle, Travis Kelce, a little heads up, a little mano-y-mano. So, Joe House, you're not here. We're mad at you because you're somewhere, but you want to get in on this. So let's go. What do you have for us?
All right, fellas. As you can see, I'm back. We hit the buffet again. We hit it hard. One of these is bigger than the other, and that makes sense because we are in the player prop matchup. Now, this is a fun thing by the FanDuels. This one is going to be Brock Purdy getting 13.5 total rushing yards against Patrick Mahomes. So Mahomes' line is 26.5. Brock Purdy's line for rushing yards is 12.5. And FanDuel is telling us you can get Purdy plus 13.5 against Mahomes. There's a couple reasons why we like these matchups. First of all, I like Purdy over the 12.5. That's a prop I'm going to play individually. Rushed 11 times in 2 playoff games. He's going to easily clear this because the Chiefs love the blitz, and what that means is that their corners are in man coverage and their backs are turned, and Purdy's going to take off down some of those lanes. Lamar Jackson held the ball too long. Brock Purdy's not going to do that against this Chiefs defense. Mahomes at 26.5 is fine, and I honestly think that Mahomes is going to run this game. It's going to be a feature of the Chiefs' game plan. We'll see more running out of Mahomes than perhaps at any point this season. Here's the reason why I like Purdy catching the 13.5. We're going to get some kneel downs. Mahomes kneel downs. If my number is right, and that is the Chiefs laying 2.5, then at the end of the game, we're going to have Mahomes going backwards in yardage, and that's where Purdy can make up. He can make up 10 yards, 12 yards. It depends on how deep Mahomes wants to go with the kneel downs. But look, this little roast beef can make things work. It's delicious. This big ham is going to be wonderful as well. Fellas, look, this is a nice little matchup. We're catching all this extra leverage with the beef. Smells wonderful. Back to you guys. Let's do this.
Thanks, House. I'm going to pass on that ham. No thanks on that one. What I am going to do is look at a little mano-y-mano, Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes matchup props. And I know people are going to look at it and they're going to say, oh, Patrick Mahomes, he's going to throw more touchdowns than Brock Purdy. It's obvious. No, we're going the other way here, especially because I'm getting it at plus money. Yeah. So, give me Brock Purdy more touchdown passes in this game. Maybe it's Kittle. Maybe all of a sudden it's Debo. I'm going to say maybe the Chiefs rely on Isaiah Pacheco a little bit inside the 5-yard line. Let's go with Purdy here.
Which I love because I'm all over Pacheco touchdowns. But this is also nice because if they tie, you still get the win on Purdy. It's plus 0.5, right? It's plus half of a touchdown. So you'll still win that bet. That's a big deal in this market where they could each have 1 touchdown. They could each have 2, right? So I like the plus money side. I like the Purdy side on that one. Red zone stuff tends to be random. The Chiefs, they run like trick plays back there. If they can throw a touchdown, it's Travis Kelce throwing it to Raheem Rice. You know, you're not even guaranteed Mahomes is the guy throwing the touchdowns.
Okay, Raheem, matchup. I need a good one here.
Okay. I got Raheem Rice receiving yards over Brandon Ayuk. And this is correlated with 2 different props that I really, really love. I like Brandon Ayuk under 4.5 receptions, and I also like Raheem Rice over 67.5 yards. So this is correlated with this. And the way I look at it is like this. You see Brandon Ayuk. He has to go up against Snead. He has to go up against McDuffie. That's one of the toughest secondaries in the league. And we know the 49ers. This is a team who they're going to run the ball with Christian McCaffrey. They got Debo Samuel. They got George Kittle. They have so many other weapons that I don't think Ayuk is going to get off in that manner. Meanwhile, you look at Raheem Rice. This guy is 11th amongst NFL wide receivers in targets per game since week 12 with 9 a game. So I think he's going to go over his yardage total, and I think he's going to have more yards than Brandon Ayuk.
Okay, Sal, the tight ends are getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce as a,
He might be getting more attention.
Yeah, just a little bit, but I think the other guy in town is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
His name is George Kittle. You are going against the Kelce Swift machine. I love it.
Listen, I think there's value in finding value shorting Kelce, right? So if you want to go Kittle to have more receiving yards than Kelce, which by the way he did in the regular season, you get plus 190, or you could take the plus 22.5. I know everybody likes the storybook ending where Kelce scores 4 touchdowns and even takes the snaps to kneel down, and as he's kneeling, he stays on the knee and proposes. Well, it might not happen like that. So might as well take plus 22.5 yards. That could be, right? That could be a matter of 3 catches head start, right?
I like that a lot, especially because Travis this year, a little bit older, he's not moving as fast. Next gen stats, player tracking, miles per hour, he's gone over 19 miles per hour like once this season. He's just an older player. George Kittle like hitting explosive. So you could be losing that bet for the entire game, and then one George Kittle catch gets you up into it. And so yeah, I like
Real quick,
Kittle.
what do you think of that next gen stats? Because that's new to the menu.
Yeah.
Fastest player as determined by next gen.
I think it's totally arbitrary, and there's no good way to handicap it. With that said, will I walk into Sunday with a bet on it? Almost 100% yes.
By the way, I
man.
want next-gen stats on a 40-yard dash between Sal, Raheem, Solak, and myself.
Let's
Can
do
we
it.
get
I'm
that?
smoking y'all.
Let's
How
do
old
it.
are you?
26?
Oh, he might got me.
Hey,
No.
I'm
Y'all two, I'm getting y'all out of
whooping
here.
all you.
Is age the predictor of speed here? That all 26-year-olds are
I
fasting?
mean, look, we're close to our 40s. I know you might be 50 at
No,
this point.
I'm like 36 still.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah. There we go. All right, you have a matchup prop for us?
Yeah, I like Isaiah Pacheco plus 23.5 rushing yards relative to Christian McCaffrey. I would not be surprised to see Pacheco lead this game in rushing yards. Pacheco is the most exposure I have on a player in this game will be Pacheco rushing overs. I have it taken all the way up to 100 yards. This 49ers rush defense is not trustworthy. It is not reliable. It is easily beatable. The blueprint is out there. You've seen the Lions and the Packers both be successful getting to the boundary, right? Take advantage of those explosive edge rushers. But then also they always give you 4-down fronts. They have no variety in their front. So if you want double teams, Pacheco up the gut, the big physical runner, you can have it every day of the week and twice on Sundays. When I was watching film getting ready for this game, the number one thing that I think like suppressed me and surprised me and stood out to me is we don't realize just how good of a ball carrier Pacheco is. He has developed into an excellent carrier of the football. The Chiefs want to shorten this game. They want to keep Brock Purdy in that offense on the sideline. They know they'll have success running it. I wouldn't be surprised for an extremely high volume Pacheco game. I think that he could go astronomical through the roof in terms of his rushing total.
All right, guys, wise guys, please advise. Let's take a look at a viewer email. Happy Super Bowl, wise guys. There are so many great storylines and elite players in the Super Bowl. Who's the biggest legacy game? Is it Kyle Shanahan wiping away the stink of Super Bowls past? Is it Brock Purdy silencing the naysayers forever with a ring? Is it Kelsey with a different type of ring? This one's from Jay in Cincy. Favorite storyline, quickly, narrative-wise?
The biggest legacy for me is Kyle Shanahan. I view Kyle as the most impactful offensive coach of the last 10 years. I want to be able to argue for him to make the Hall of Fame. I want to be able to do that easily because he has Super Bowl rings. Like he's that level of coach to me. So I think he needs a ring. He deserves a ring. I hope he gets one.
Raheem?
I'm going to say it's Brock Purdy because he could become Eli Manning here. He could put himself on that next tier because no one's giving this guy respect. And for me, I've always been a Brock Purdy fan. I saw him in his first game get thrust into the starting lineup. He played Miami.
Tortured my team, yeah.
Brian Flores, you know how he throws that blitz out there. He was not rattled. He made every single throw. He made plays that Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't make, and he's been doing it ever since that first game. So I want to see him get his respect.
Favorite storyline?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, maybe House's heart explodes before the B block. That could be.
Yeah.
Maybe Taylor's the ultimate jinx if they don't win. But I'm going to say it's still going to be Mahomes. Monday morning, we're still going to be talking about Mahomes. There's going to be overreactions one way or another. Did he already pass? Oh, my God, maybe he already passed Brady. Why are we having this conversation? Or if he lost, like, oh, he's way below Montana. He's got work to do. He's never going to get there. It's always going to be Mahomes.
I'm with you. It's Shanahan because to me, he goes to that next stratosphere as a coach. He's
Hopefully.
a top-notch regular season coach. He's been to NFC title games. Got to win a Super Bowl. Ben Solak, thanks for joining us on
Appreciate
Ringer
it.
Wise Guys. You're done for the weekend until Sunday. Buckle up. We got a lot more coming your way. Here from Vegas, we have a family meal. We have some SGPs to dive into. We'll have Brock Purdy's biggest fan, Steven Ruiz. He's going to join the show. All that more right here. It's Wise Guys. Final time 2022-2023 season right here on FanDuel TV. Welcome back to Ringer Wise Guys right here on the FanDuel TV set from Radio Row in Las Vegas. We'll hear from our buddy Joe House in a matter of moments. Guys, I know there's a thing called Super Bowl squares. FanDuel gets involved like I do each and every year at the Silver Lake Golf Course and all of the pools that I've been in over
Yeah.
the years. Sal, the idea that we can go and take two numbers and roll the dice and have a little bit of fun, our friends at FanDuel allow us the same opportunity. So I was kind of joking about 5 and 5. I don't think it's going to be 5 and 5, but I got really crummy numbers, so I got to dare to dream. Let's get realistic at least when it comes to this. Give me Super Bowl squares, one number, right? We're talking final score. So the last digit, 1, a 7, a 5,
I
whatever
know how
it may
it goes.
be.
We know how it goes.
I know you know how
Yes.
it goes,
Go
but
ahead.
the audience may
All
not.
right.
So take it away.
This is what's great about this because, yeah, these pools that we're involved in, some of them illegal, by the way, over the years.
Oh,
I'll say.
boy.
But you don't want to run these things. You chase everyone around with a magic marker, and and then who ends up winning? The kid who's back from boarding school.
And then you got to worry about getting paid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
I get
terrible.
paid.
FanDuel takes care of it. You can take your specific numbers, as you pointed out. I like 7 and 3. This is for the whole game. You get it at the end of every quarter. If it's cumulative, 7 and 3. KC 49ers is 6-1. 49ers KC is plus 550. 27-13, 17-13, 13-7, 87-43. There was a final score. I think it was Super Bowl IV. The final was 87-43. I made that up. Anyway, those are my numbers. I love it. Mwah, FanDuel, this is the best.
Best of luck to you on that. Okay, Raheem, Square's perspective. How'd you play this?
Okay, so I have the 49ers at 7 and the Chiefs at 1. And what I'm thinking is that the Chiefs scored 31 points and the 49ers scored 17 or 27 points. And I had a friend on Twitter, Cleveland TA. He's probably one of the sharpest gamblers on Twitter. And he looked up the final scores of games with a total of 46. And 31-17 is actually, one of the most common scores.
You did a little research and homework on this.
Yeah, so
I'm impressed.
So, 31-17 is one of the most common scores. So it puts you in a spot to where I can get 31-17 or 31-27, and I still have a chance to win. And that pays 43 to 1.
All right, so guys, I didn't go with 5 and 5. What I ended up doing is 1 and 0, because I'm going to say the final score of this game is going to be San Francisco 31, Kansas City 20. 1 and 0 may be another number that I have in a specific box pool. I had to come on, Sal, and give numbers that I actually, ended up
Of
receiving.
course.
Yeah.
What if it's a 1-0 final? Butker extra point?
That's
Nothing
it.
for the
1-0.
Niners. I can see it.
Kansas City, San Francisco, maybe one that's being played in Kauffman Stadium. Maybe
Yeah,
we get that
exactly.
final.
Yeah.
All right, Joe House, Super Bowl Square. Take it away, buddy. What do we got?
Oh yeah, fellas, look at this. Squares time. You know what I did? I went right up to the buffet. I said to the chef, Chef, I got to pick out a beautiful square for the correct score of this football game. Thank God the FanDuel making it so much fun for us. Now look, I am on the Kansas City Chiefs. We talked about this at the outset of the show. 24-21. That is available on the FanDuel Sportsbook at 31 to 1 odds. Now look, in terms of what kind of square, some people like this nice crusty outer edge. You get the combination of the cheese that's crusted up a little bit. Some people like the delectable middle. Let's see what this thing looks like. I'm going right down the middle because I think this is the way that this thing is going to turn out. Oh, I'm doing a beautiful square here, my friend. Look at this, by the way. Why wouldn't we have a little Parmesan cheese? Chef gave it to me. We got to have it. 24-21 Chiefs. The perfect number at 31 to 1, and this is about to be a perfect slice of lasagna. Let's go!
Ooh, lasagna. I like it, House. You guys, middle guys, edge guys, where do you stand on that?
Well, look at me. You think it matters
So all
to
of
me?
the above,
I
yeah.
like on a Sicilian, I like the corner, but I'm not going to pass up on
I'm
that.
versatile.
Real G's move in silence like lasagna, as the great Lil Wayne said.
But what's the answer? That doesn't
So,
give us an
yeah.
answer. You just
I
spelled
ride with
lasagna.
You ride with it. Listen,
Corner.
on that note, give me the middle any day of the week. I get a little more girth. I get a little more meat. But we welcome in Steven Ruiz, who, by the way, is hands down Brock Purdy's biggest fan at Radio Row at Super Bowl week. Your quarterback rankings are a ton of fun.
Thank you.
But now you get your buddy Purdy here all week.
Yeah, and on a pod in September, I said if he won the Super Bowl, I got a new career. I'm not covering the NFL anymore.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, the 49ers fans
What are you
holding
gonna
me to
do?
that.
Wow.
Haven't decided yet.
You haven't thought about that?
You should maybe
Yeah,
think about it.
I'm going to start gambling.
I was gonna
That's
say
why I'm here.
professional
That's why I'm
poker
here.
player, bungee jumper.
I can do it all. I'll climb the sphere. Did you see someone did that?
I did not.
Yeah.
You got to give me a
Big
lot of
time.
money to do that.
What's
Climb
worse,
that
the
spear.
Ringer sending me here after going 1-11 in the playoffs, or sending Ruiz, who said that Purdy was worse than Gardner Minshew?
You.
It is big.
Without a doubt.
I'll take it.
I disagree.
Are
Can
you
I
gonna
get another
hedge that
trophy?
bet on some, like, I mean, you might as well put your ringer salary on the other side.
No, the thing is, I was joking. Like, it was very clearly a joke, but 49ers fans don't care about that. They don't care about context. If they cared about context, they would
I
realize
was
what
joking
Brock
with
Purdy
my
really
one
is.
and my 11 losing picks too. I was
There you go.
joking.
Yeah.
Rich
We were both
Cote,
joking.
It was a bit.
his.
It's a good bit.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, it works. Okay, we got the Niners, we got the Chiefs. Competitive Super Bowl. We saw it a couple of years ago. Niners had the big lead. Garoppolo misses a wide open pass. Tyreek Hill, big catch. We know what happens there. 4 years later, it's a different quarterback for the Niners. The Chiefs don't have Tyreek Hill, but they are still the Chiefs.
Right.
And they are the team, despite the fact, Ruiz, that they're an underdog. You walk around town, everybody is on Kansas City in this game. You join the wise guys. It's your time to shine. Chiefs, Niners, 2.5 point spread. Who do you like?
I gotta go Kansas City. Besides the fact that my job's on the line, I just think this is the type of defense that gives this type of offense a lot of trouble. It's a defense where you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what they're playing. You don't know the coverage. And Kyle Shanahan is very good at figuring that stuff out. But it's harder in the heat of a game. If you're going up against like Dan Quinn, you know what he's going to be in. He's going to be in cover 3. He's going to be in cover 1. Spags, totally different story.
Okay, so you're on Kansas City. Obviously, you take them to win the game. You wouldn't just take the 2.5.
Yeah, right.
You think this is a lower scoring type game?
Yeah, I think it's a low-scoring game. I think it's a disjointed game. I think it's a slow start. I think it's like something like 27-17. The Chiefs have been in 3 Super Bowls. This is the 4th. We've only seen them like go off with their offense once, and that was last year. The 2 other times, it was a struggle, and I think that's going to be the case again.
Raheem, that second half under with Kansas City has been a cash cow all year. Are we going back to that well?
I'm not, like, I always struggle with this because I said this before, but one of my favorite Super Bowl bets historically was second half higher scoring than the first half because we know Super Bowls in the second half tends to heat up.
The nerves, the long halftime, they're more settled in the game. I get that.
Yeah, but it's just like this Chiefs defense locks down in the second half. So I would lean towards the second half under, first half over. You guys heard my Ringer Wise guys pick earlier that I like the Chiefs team total over 10.5 in the first half. So I think you're going to get a higher scoring first half, but I think you'll get a lower scoring second half. So that's probably what I'll ride with.
Gang, we got MVP picks to get to, and I like digging deep. I like going off the beaten path from time to time. This guy's always off the beaten path. Joe House, Super Bowl MVP. Please give me something different.
All right, fellas, love that I get to go first here with the MVP pick. Sometimes the obvious answer is the right answer. And we're just looking all across the board to cash on these Kansas City Chiefs. If it's the Kansas City Chiefs, then it's Patrick Mahomes. And if it's Patrick Mahomes, then it's got to be ribs from Kansas City. This is them right here. Now look, obviously it's a chalky pick, but at plus 140, that's better odds than you get on the money line or that you get on the spread by taking the Chiefs. If you think the Chiefs are going to win, Mahomes as the MVP is the right way to play it. Plus 140, that's even better than laying the 2.5 that I did, but I'm fine with it. Now, look, the Mahomie, the true triumphant placement of Mahomie among the all-time greats of quarterbacks. We've got Tom Brady. It's time for Patrick Mahomes to join the pantheon. We've got these beautiful ribs. I think might have to take a bite. Fellas, MVP Patrick Mahomes. You can't do any better than this.
Oh, yeah, House, great. Really went out on a limb, picking Patrick Mahomes to go and win Super Bowl MVP. And I get it now. Listen, it's a better number than what you're going to get with the Kansas City Chiefs on the money line. It's still lame.
Yeah, listen, there's better ones. I'll comment on your guys. First of all, I do want to say 27 for the Chiefs. I have a 27-22. Good score. They've scored 27 or 17 7 times this year, so that's a good number. I'm with House. I'm sorry. If you get it, you get it, JJ. The voters love Mahomes. They're dazzled by him because he's a dazzling player. He's the best we've seen. He had 184 yards passing last Super Bowl and won MVP. There's better value in some of the guys you guys are about to give, but I still think Mahomes.
See, not only is there better value on some of the guys that we're about to give, there's better value in creating a same-game parlay with Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs to win, Patrick Mahomes like just to throw 2 touchdown passes, Patrick Mahomes to go over his yardage.
But I just said he had 184 and still won, so you could lose that.
That is true, but I mean, you could find other props that are correlated with him winning the MVP. I mean, MVP, Patrick Mahomes is just plus 150.
Yeah, because he's going to win.
We'll see about that. Okay, Raheem, you speak of value. What MVPs do you want
So
to
this
throw
is a
our way?
really long shot. I'm going to go with Deebo Samuel's 25 to 1 to win MVP. And the way I see it is, this is a guy who can beat you through the run game, and he can also beat you through the air. So if this is a guy who gets 50 rushing yards and he gets 70 receiving yards, and then he gets 2 touchdowns, that's MVP worthy. So that's worthy of placing a flyer on him at 25 to 1.
So I love that. That's the one I was going to give out because of the idea that he can go off in the running game. He can go off from a wide receiver
It's like
standpoint.
Drake. Drake can sing and he can rap.
That's right. You
Has
like?
he won MVP, Super Bowl MVP before?
I mean, he's the biggest rap artist. Like,
I
of the
wouldn't rule
last
it out,
20
or
years.
you could put the curse on you, Ruiz. One or the
That's
other.
a good point.
The Toronto Raptors won an NBA title once Drake came on board.
That's a good point.
They
That's a good
did,
point.
so maybe that curse is a little overrated. I love that at 25 to 1. And remember, Deebo Samuel had a monster Super Bowl against Kansas City 4 years ago. The bye week, I think, should help the shoulder. The other one I got to give out, though, is McCaffrey at plus 450 because he's been their bread and butter all year. He's been the guy they've kind of relied on all year. I know we haven't seen a running back win an MVP in the Super Bowl going all the way back to Terrell Davis and the Denver Broncos. But, Ruiz, to me, if there's a running back who could do it, it's McCaffrey.
And I think when they get down, they still give him the ball. When they were down against the Packers, when they were down against the Lions, McCaffrey was still getting the ball. They find different ways. He's not just a running back who needs a positive game script to get the ball.
Okay.
Samuel and McCaffrey, both very capable of scoring 2+ touchdowns. So you do get value.
We got to find that on FanDuel. Maybe parlay those together and have ourselves a little bit of fun. Your MVP is crazy, and I love it.
I'm going Chris Jones.
Yes.
I think they're going to line him up over the 49ers right tackle on key passing downs. That's going to be a big mismatch, and he turns it on 3rd down. He's not so good against the run anymore, but that doesn't matter to voters. We're not voting for run defenders in the box. So I think he's going to have 2 sacks, maybe a strip sack. That's going to be the difference.
And we've seen defensive players, Von Miller, go win a Super Bowl MVP. And yes, Sal,
Malcolm Smith.
let's inform
Von Miller.
everyone,
Tell 'em.
before I got on the plane,
Yes.
legally in New York, I got a text from cousin Sal. What bet did you want me to place on the FanDuel app?
Chris Jones right there. George Karlaftis. Either one have an interception. Jones is
I like that.
70 to 1. Karlaftis was 100 to 1. I like that. Tip ball at the line of scrimmage. Is that what you're
Yeah,
thinking?
it works. The last time these teams played, Chris Jones should have won MVP. He dominated that game. He's the reason the Chiefs won that game.
Excellent, excellent point. Steven Ruiz, I guess for your sanity, do you need Kansas City here so you can make it out of Vegas alive?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Every chance I've had from preseason, midseason to the playoffs, we've had to do predictions. I picked the 49ers to make the playoffs or make the Super Bowl. So I'm not surprised.
Are
I
we
feel
going
like
to
you got your
scroll
bases
on the
covered.
bottom an email people can send to submit their resume? once
They
Louise is
know
out?
where I am. Trust me. Every tweet I've sent out this week, they've been like, "You looking for a new job yet?"
Yeah, there you go.
Well, buddy, thanks for a few minutes. We appreciate your contributions here to Ring of
I
Wise Guys.
appreciate it.
That's Steven Ruiz. All right, Joe House. Where is Joe House? Well, it's time for the family meal. You know he's in the lab. You know he's churning it out. House, give me what you got.
Oh, fellas, it's family meal time. You know what that means. We have this beautiful look. Who other than the buffet is going to do it better for the Wise Guys? What a spread. 4-leg same-game parlay is what I'm putting out there. We're taking an alternate spread. The Chiefs teasing them all the way up to 8.5. We're taking the total. We're going over 40.5 points in this thing. We're not asking for too much. Chiefs covered by 8.5. Total over 40.5. We're going to put that together with Deebo Samuel rushing yards over 16.5. I think Coach Shanahan has it up his sleeve. If you look at Deebo in most of the playoff games, not this year, previous years, I think this is part of the hidden weapon here. And then Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown scorer. That's the big ham in the middle. It's what giving the people what they want to see. And look at this spread. We've got the pizza, the cheeseburger, the lasagna, kebabs. Don't forget about the kebabs. The beautiful ham. Take a slice for your boy Kelce. That's it. Plus 441 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Same game parlay, my friends. Back to you, Wise Guys.
Thank you, House. There's just too much going on with that family meal. I'm sorry. Crab legs, burgers. I love both. They don't match.
They don't match.
It's giving me agita, and I'm a garbage disposal as it is. So
Now, we'll see if House's family meal ends up being a winner. It's been a lot of
It
fun
won't be a
doing
winner.
this. Wow, I love Raheem
He's
already
going
on
to be
record.
on the
It's a
toilet
loser.
all day, and he might even miss the Super Bowl.
Might need a little Pepto-Bismol as far as that's concerned. I get it, but we now have gotten in the lab. We've put these together each and every week. Sal, I like where you're going here. Correlation, family meal, SGP. What do we
First of
got?
all, a little message to the haters who don't like the same game parlay. They say like we're a shill for FanDuel. We've given out winners.
Lot of
We have
winners.
given out
Plenty of winners.
all
Lot
year.
of winners. These
We're
have been
plus
good.
money. Yes.
These have been good.
And you can bet these individually, right?
Yes,
Raheem?
you can bet them all individually. We're giving you so many Super Pro props today. Why don't you get started on your same game parlay?
Okay,
Because
well-
we gonna crush it today.
Well, this one's going to lose, all that said. No, here we go. All right. Plus 7.5. Give me a break. I know you said 35-25 earlier. Chiefs plus
That
7.5.
was just my Super
I
Bowl
know.
box
You're having
talking.
fun with that. 7.5. It's stealing. It's stealing a leg. You're going to end up in Clark County jail for that. All right. Under 50.5. I see this in the low 20s for both teams. I actually think 27-22 for a final. Under 50.5. I like for that. My other two legs. I don't even know what the other two legs. Oh, Mahomes
I can help you.
to throw a touchdown. 15 out of his last 16 games, he has thrown a touchdown. So why not go with that? The weird one is McCaffrey to score the 49ers' first touchdown. He's done that a bunch this year. They definitely rely on him, Mr. Reliable. That pays a little more than 5-1. That's my same game.
All right, I like 5-1, juicy odds. Raheem, your contribution to the family meal gets even juicier than that. So please, I want a nice hearty meal here.
Look, it's the last Ringer Wise Guys of the season. So we got to go big. And we're going to go big with 4 game, same game parlay. This pays almost 12-1. We're going to go Brandon Ayuk under 4.5 catches. I already broke down why I like this earlier. We're going to go with George Kittle over 60.5 receiving yards. I like this because we're going to juice this all the way up. We know George Kittle, this is a guy who he is the security blanket for Brock Purdy. His over-under is like 40.5 right now. I'm going to take it even higher. Rasheed Rice, over 67.5 receiving yards. I also broke this down earlier on in the show. And then we're going to go with Christian McCaffrey, over 89.5 rushing yards. I really like this one because we all know the Kansas City Chiefs, 25th in defensive EPA per play against the run. So you should have a field day, almost 12.5-1. You can play these individually, but put it in a parlay so you can end the season off right.
All right, Raheem, you know I'm doubling the meat. I'm taking San Francisco in my SGP. I'm taking them to win the game. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I know people are going to be wondering, JJ, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he stunk all year. He hasn't caught a cold. But yet in the postseason, he has come alive for Patrick Mahomes. So we're going to take Valdez-Scantling 30-plus receiving yards. What we're also going to do is look at the other tight end, George Kittle, who is heavily involved in what Brock Purdy looks to do. I think he has success against that Kansas City defense because they're terrific in the secondary with their corners. I think you can expose them a little bit from a linebacker standpoint. I think you see Kittle go for 40-plus receiving yards. I'm also going to take Travis Kelce, 4-plus receptions. I know we look to fade him. He's probably a guy that's going to be overvalued. He's getting 4-plus receptions in this game. This SGP is juicy. It's going to be a winner. And I wanted to keep it on brand, guys. I don't want to get off the beaten path. You know I'm all in on the Niners. I'm going to be all in on the Niners with an SGP. I got to do it, Raheem.
Is this our last one? Can we do UFL SGPs or no?
UFL, XFL, can we figure it out for the NCAA
We're going to have to come back and do more.
Wise Guys tournament style?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's
pitching
do
the
it.
Be the
show.
last one.
I'm pitching the show. All right, guys, let's get a little email. Wise Guys, please advise. This is the last one we're going to have all year. What's up, Wise Guys? Are you as sad about the end of football as I am? What is your highlight, and what was your worst bad beat? This one comes from Jack in Redondo Beach. Worst bad beat, Raheem. I think we know Lions money line 2 weeks ago.
How did the Lions lose that game? Not only did they lose that game, they had a chance to go up 17 with 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and 3 minutes later the game was tied. I am angry. I am gutted. This was an unmitigated disaster to lose that game. That is the low light of not only my NFL season, but my NFL betting career. I've been doing this 15 years. I've never seen a more devastating loss. I just thank God that I am not a Lions fan because they've been dealing with this their entire lives, and they will continue to deal with this their entire lives. I'm done with them.
You remember the beats a lot more than the wins, Sal. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they hurt. They
Unless
still
they're on the
stink.
craps table, then you remember.
Absolutely. I don't know, Raheem, if we could thank God we're not Lions fans because we root for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
So
God.
And I root for the Dolphins. I haven't
Exactly.
seen a playoff win in
Yeah,
20-something
it's
years.
6-1. My worst beat happened a couple days ago when these heartless voters went against Damar Hamlin, the favorite to win Comeback Player of the Year. This was the storyline for months. We almost shook up the playoffs. He was not responding to CPR on the field, and then he suited up, and I don't care if he got in for one play. It was a remarkable story, and they gave it to Joe Flacco. Why? Because he played for the Jets? It's got to be a little more than that. I'm sorry. I know he came back, had a good year for the Browns, but how do you take that from Damar Hamlin?
Playing for the Jets might be a greater comeback than almost dying.
It's a different kind of death.
we got.
I'm glad Joe Flacco won the award. Listen, it's great. Damar Hamlin, an incredible story. Joe Flacco came off the couch. He's flying coach with me coming out to the Super Bowl and then takes the team to the postseason. So I'm going to applaud that. For me, bad beat.
Yeah.
You guys remember that Texans-Buccaneers game when the kicker gets hurt and I end up
Oh,
losing
right.
by a half point?
Oh, my
because
God.
they
I was on
couldn't
that,
kick?
too.
That's a bad beat you remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The beats always haunt you a lot more than the great
We're going to miss
wins.
it, though, right?
I am.
We are going to miss
Go
it.
ahead.
They can't get back here soon enough.
I can't listen. You have a honeymoon coming up.
I do.
I'm going with you because
Hey.
I have to distract. I'm sorry. Tell the missus I'm going to do. Where are we going?
And we'll
South
have
Africa?
to put the odds on whether or not you get eaten by a lion.
Yes, I have Gazelle at 3-1. but
There
I
we
think
go.
Lions
I'm on the
fan.
Gazelle. Before we say goodbye for the final time this campaign, Joe House, a parting thought, please.
Whew. All right, fellas, we made it. Somehow we made it through this show. I made it through this buffet. One last bite, this beautiful question from our pals out there. So my worst experience of the season was trying to pick that Pittsburgh-Buffalo game, and the NFL moved it on us. But we're not dwelling on the negatives. It's only the positives. We're down to cookie time, my friends. My best win of the season had to be being the biggest dog of all the wise guys. Did you see the trophy that I got out of that thing? Let's go, fellas. Now, look, I'm already missing you. I love this season. I can't wait for us to get back together again. Let's call the Ringer and FanDuel. Let's do this for the draft. We can gamble on the draft. Everybody loves the NFL draft. We can come out to Vegas, the spread, the buffet. Fellas, I miss you. I love you. Get over here to the buffet and let's all have a nice toast together.
Thank you, House. All right, little rapid fire from the boys before we say goodbye. There's so much you can get involved with on the FanDuel app, and you can even get involved with the coin toss. Guys, by the way, I know it's a terrible bet.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't do it. I know I'm paying a big. I went to Syracuse University. There's a bar called Fagan's. On Wednesday night, they used to have flip night. Heads and tails, you win the coin toss, your beer is free. Tails never fails, guys. I'm not betting heads. I'm having fun with the coin toss. Don't mock me,
I'm
Sal.
with you with it. No, of course. You got to bet everything, right? So I'm going tails. 57 Super Bowls, 30 times it's been tails. Do you believe in momentum? Tails won last year. They keep it going. I think it's archaic that we're still doing a coin with this billion-dollar commercials and the game. And
So
the
what do you want him to do it on a
halftime.
phone? You want to
Just
take
have
it
the
on a
mascots
cap?
fight.
I want them to do
something.
it like XXL and they just wrestle over the
That's
football.
fun. Run to midfield. Somebody gets there first. Yeah. Raheem, you have anything on the coin toss?
I have nothing on the coin
He
toss.
mocked me for betting the coin toss
The
last
guy
week.
do
But
it.
for the sake of this show, I'm going to fade you and take heads. I don't believe in
How
momentum.
dare you? How
Wow,
dare you?
you're fading tails never fails.
He's cold as ice. I got to fade him.
Well, listen, I leased them for the game, and that's why I wanted of many reasons I'm on a 9.
By the way,
Who am I
FanDuel
kidding?
minus 104. Can you give us a break on the coin toss?
Yeah,
We'll
give
get
us
a minus
even money
101.
back, FanDuel.
Come
Can we get
on.
even money on
For
the
one bet?
You're killing me. Now,
Oh,
the
man.
anthem, will you get involved?
Yeah, I will. Reba is it was opened at 86. Now it's like 103 seconds. Billy Joel was the fastest time ever when they started computing, and that was years and years ago. I got to go over. I think she holds bridge.
Okay, you have a lot of rapid fire props.
I gave the under on the national anthem
You're on it, too.
Monday. So
Okay.
give me the under. I think it was 90 and a half.
Okay.
I love the under. But some rapid fire props. Let's go Brock Purdy, interception, minus 115. Yes. Let's go Isaiah Pacheco, anytime touchdown. Yes, minus 130. Like, those are my two favorite right now.
If there's a rapid fire, maybe anytime touchdown or something nutty.
Yeah, I think I like Kittle for anytime touchdown, rapid fire. I like 2+ touchdowns, but by any player. It's happened 7 of the last 8 Super Bowls. You pay a hefty vig on that, but that's mine now.
I got one more. Either team to score 3 unanswered scores. It happens more frequently than we realize. The 49ers against the Lions, they scored 5 unanswered times. Laid minus 178, either team to score 3 unanswered times. Yes.
Joe House cholesterol, over 264.5.
Over.
Okay. Yes.
Hammer it. Deebo Samuel, first touchdown.
So that's fun.
You got to bet a first touchdown.
Yeah.
They're fun bets, they're dart throws, but you know what? You got to do what you got to
Bet
do.
it all. We got nothing after this.
Guys, this has been so much fun all season long. Getting to work with you guys has been an absolute thrill. Cousin Sal, Raheem Palmer. We'll do it all again next year.
I hope so.
Let's do it.
I want to thank our buddy Joe House. Want to thank all the guys from FanDuel. Jack, Chris, Mikey, the whole FanDuel TV crew. I can't thank them enough. We have been rocking. We have been rolling from September. Simmons had this crazy idea to put all 4 of us knuckleheads on television.
This is my best idea yet.
By the way, I'm used to being on TV. So are you.
Yeah.
And you're a TV star. You're a natural. It's an absolute blast doing this show. We love doing it. We can't wait to be back again next year. For all of us, the Ringer Wise guys, signing off for the final time. I'm going to get the year right. I know it's 2024. I know we got that wrong earlier. For Sal, Raheem, House, JJ, signing off. We'll see you next year. Cash those tickets on Super Sunday.